So I really appreciate how easy you are to talk to. You're really good at this.
Yeah.
Is that a talent, or you just always been extroverted?
Not at all. I'm naturally very introverted. I don't normally, unless I'm going to work or going to run an errand somewhere, it's like I don't normally leave. I don't like to talk to people, kind of sort of thing. I laugh because a lot of my friends get mad at me for not texting them back, like simple things like that.
Yeah.
I prefer just to hang out with my animals at home and stuff like that. But I do actually credit the Disney parks training for a lot of that, because whenever I'm at work or if I'm doing an event or meeting, talking to people, I'm really good at turning on a switch that we get trained at work to do. And I would teach other people to do that too whenever I was like a supervisor at Six Flags and stuff, where they had like the simple rules of like, they called it the 5 to 10 rule, that if they are 10 feet away, that's whenever you acknowledge that they are in your bubble, they exist.
Okay, yeah.
And you make that eye contact. And then whenever they're 5 feet away is whenever you would go and actually talk to them. And it would be a lot of times where, especially in Florida, where I just have my hat, have my sunglasses, and I look like I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Granted, Disney also had a rule that if you got caught not smiling, like they had resting smiling face.
Oh,
and
wow.
I've learned that I now have that, and it's like set in stone for me, that if you...
I have the other version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Most people do, and you could literally get written up for that because you're supposed to be a very inviting welcoming place.
Yeah.
And so you would be standing around doing maybe nothing, people watching a lot of times, but you had to have that smile and look approachable. And the moment someone came up to you, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, hi, what are you doing? La, da, da, da. I like your hat, I like your shirt, and things like that.
So
my favorite thing is to compliment them.
Okay.
And finding something that I genuinely like, and a lot of times it's like a bag or a keychain, something that's more obscure, that they put it on there because it makes them feel better, but not everybody might recognize it.
Right, so then you take away the whole aspect of it being fake because you look for something
Yeah.
that you actually like.
Yeah. Trying to make it as genuine as possible, especially like growing up, I was a super weeb, I was a nerd, and nowadays too, and like learning now that like being a Disney adult is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Never in my life I ever thought that. People would go to the parks like, I know I'm like 50 years old, I know I'm like 30 something years old, and I'm meeting the princesses, like I don't care. And that's the idea, again, being such a fan of like Disney and Walt. There's actually the saying on the theme park whenever you walk in from ages like 7 to like 97, like the child at heart, that's the idea. Yeah. And so like, I don't care what your fandom is, I'm here to compliment you and say that that's okay, because like me too, I love all the things and people can make fun of me. And that's usually like what people are like, I really like the fact that you are yourself kind of thing. If you walk into my apartment, you see all my anime, manga, and books, and whatever fandom, all of my collection of Disney, Universal, all the things, stuffed animals. People are just like, oh my gosh, you have kids? No, those are my stuffed animals. Yeah. What are you talking about? I collect these guys. But it's like, it's okay to be into the thing that you're into.
Right.
Because that's what makes you happy. So like, I'm gonna be that person that compliments it, especially if it's something obscure. Like I like a lot of older anime and shows and things that a lot of people don't know about. So whenever I see like a keychain or a pin, that's one of my favorite things. Like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna compliment you, and that's obviously just like a surprise and genuine relationship, friendship that you just kind of rub the ice for. Like I made a lot of friends that way. And like, even if it's like an anime convention or at the parks and stuff like that, you remember that experience. And I've actually had people, whenever I worked at both parks, that they would meet me at one and remember me when they went to the other one because of that kind of interaction.
Yeah, you make that impact. I love that. You really, it showcases that being extroverted, not necessarily the extroverted, I think that's more of a core person, but being able to communicate and overcome social anxiety, that's teachable.
Yeah.
That's a skill you can learn. So just like leveling up in D&D, you just put +2 in charisma.
Yeah, exactly. The charisma.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing too. Like I naturally, weirdly enough, gravitate towards a lot of extroverted people. Yeah. And I think it's because of that. Like I enjoyed their energy because that's so not me. Yeah. But whenever I am in those situations, like my brother and my sister are also introverted. My mom and my dad are so extroverted. They can make friends with their neighbors in the most strangest places. Yeah. But there's been a lot of times where we're in family gatherings or big group settings and stuff like that. And I'm the one that has to like help break the barrier between families and strangers and stuff, because like I can turn on that switch from being introverted to extroverted and kind of making people feel comfortable.
You talked about it earlier where like, people have their fandoms and everything. It's something that I've learned as an adult that took me a really long time to learn. And it sounds counterintuitive. The more I grew up, the more I realized it was okay to be into the things I was into.